Hey Libra, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for your February 2021 soul story. So if you have a sun rising or your moon is in Libra, then this is a general reading, but the insights and messages may well resonate for you and hopefully help you to support the navigation through the influences that will come up this month. So we are opening up your reading with the energy of the lovers. And this month it's really all about synchronicity and soul. Aquarius season lights up your fifth house of heart energy. And there's going to be a really strong emphasis for you on reevaluation and really coming to terms with aspects of your life that you feel in complete alignment and harmony from a heart perspective, and a stark reminder and reality check of what feels exceptionally out of balance. Now, we're going to be opening up the first part of February with the Sun, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter and Saturn all moving through fellow air sign Aquarius. This is really harmonious by way of a placement for you. And I do feel it's going to help you to have those really beautiful, honest soul conversations with yourself, but also put you in a position where you are really starting to see strong signs and validations to what it is that your intuition is speaking to you. So just take the time to look around and you're going to notice that the universe is backing up. Whenever you are coming to conclusions from a heart energy, you will start to see those signs and synchronicities coming in very strongly. So the energy of the lovers does link into the sign of Gemini, but it does put a strong emphasis on the way that you're taking care of yourself, how you're inviting that aspect of desire and pleasure in spite of any circumstances that might be trying to suppress, limit, restrict, or lower your energy. What feels good, Libra? I think you're going to be asking yourself that question all the way through the month. With the Mercury retrograde in an air sign, it's actually a little bit lighter to deal with than what we experienced last year when the retrogrades were in more of the emotional water signs. So for you, it's a beautiful time to have this active reevaluation of what matters. And I think you're also going to see, perhaps in key dynamics, connections, partnerships, where you've been shutting off your own needs, because compromise doesn't mean that you completely remove what it is that you need to be able to thrive. And I think that there's going to be some important reminders and acceptance that comes through on your part in relation to what it is that you need and how you need to demonstrate that to people around you. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles coming through, and it really is a suggestion that the aspect of self-mastery, of actually doing the work, of working on your relationship with yourself, of working on the important connections with those around you, are going to bring something really beautiful to fruition. Now, on the 11th, we've got a new moon in Aquarius, and there's a stunning Venus-Jupiter conjunction, which, you know, is really the stuff that memories can be made of. So there may well be something that comes up in and around the energy of that date that is giving you a reward, or something's coming to fruition by way of what you've invested. Now, because we've got retrograde energy, anything that you're returning to that you feel strongly or passionate about is going to have some great supportive, progressive energy for helping you to reacquaint yourself with it. Now, the acclimatization of moving into this new air energy can be a little bit bumpy initially, but you're certainly one of the signs that's going to feel the lightness and really the breath of relief in some ways. But there is this more serious undertone, I think, that the Eight of Pentacles is bringing through, that's saying, okay, where do I really want to commit my energy through this month? You know, we're coming into the second month of 2021. January was certainly a recalibration, and I think that there is a realization where the departure is going to be necessary for you. You know, perhaps you're making the decision to call time on a certain relationship, to call time on a certain approach, a certain pathway, and that's okay. You know, even though you might feel conflicted about it, even though it's going to take some energy and some focus to be able to unravel all of the complexity of how you feel, you are going to make yourself understood, and I feel you're going to communicate yourself in the right way. Now, maybe there's going to be a situation where you find yourself in a place where you're having to move away from something because it no longer exists. It's dissipating, it's moving on, it's moving out of your life. Don't don't be worried if you can't quite see what comes next. What we've got is this figure who's beautifully trying to make her way through the water and the heavier clouds here, but we've got this gorgeous rainbow that's lighting up the way, this star that you're following. And so even though there may be some sadness, some challenge, some disappointment in what has to be released, and how you have to allow yourself to move forward, as you move deeper into this fifth house heart energy, remember you're going to be working powerfully with this theme all the way through 2021, as we have a strong focus with Aquarius, and it really is going to help you to be able to draw a line and begin and initiate a new chapter in your life. Now, we do have a really challenging aspect that's going to be surfacing on the 17th, where Saturn squares Uranus. It's the first of three that is going to happen through the course of 2021. Again, June 14th and then December 24th. We played with this energy last year. We're going to speak to it again by way of a conversation in 2022. So something powerful is shifting and changing by way of the dynamic tension that it brings up as you seek to get the right personal balance between what you are controlling and where you need to identify freedom in your life. Now, the Hierophant comes in with that level of conscious awareness, that direct connection into something greater, so that you are learning and educating yourself. And there's a level of emotional maturity that's coming through really strongly for me in this February month for you, Libra, that's going to help you to make those big decisions that you might be struggling or trying to grapple with, or indeed to be able to observe and identify what someone else is struggling or going through, and not take it on as your own or feel that you need to step in to be the savior. You know, sometimes that sort of rather blunt, rather radical level of honesty with yourself about what's actually happening for you at the moment and how you're involved in certain situations that are playing themselves out. It isn't always about you. Sometimes people have to need to go through certain experiences, and you know, people will change when they are ready. They really will. And so trying to force or draw that kind of an energy is only going to bind you up. And I really feel that the Hierophant, even though you might be seeking commitment, you might be seeking loyalty, you might be seeking to see where somebody stands or what their feelings or thoughts are about a particular situation, you're going to see far more progress, much more lightness, and far more heart activation when you allow the language of your soul and the synchronicities that are coming in from the universe to guide you, rather than the observation of where somebody else is at. I think that's going to be one of the most important realizations that you have to set yourself free. You know, your creativity is moving to its own rhythm right now. And as long as you continue to keep doing the work, what we see is you stepping into this beautiful aspect of feeling more comfortable and at ease within yourself. And, you know, the way in which you are not only supporting yourself, but also holding space for others is going to be really significant through this month. But the way that you're doing it is by committing to your bigger vision, to understanding that regardless of some of the ways in which you are seeing things play out around you, you still get to decide what your experience of and how that's going to shape you, okay? Now, your Queen of Pentacles is coming in and saying that actually it's through almost investing yourself in doing the work, you know, along with the 8, that you're going to see the meaningful progress that you really want to through the course of this month, okay? Don't wait for anybody else to give you the green light. Retrograde energy is deeply introspective, helping you to understand where your value sits and what part of your past still has merit, still has value, still has something to celebrate, to perhaps reacquaint yourself with. And even if you are only pulling small pieces of that into your present to try and shape your future, that's enough. It's not about having to go back and kind of, reenact or relive things that you've already been through and released, but there's something of value that we feel is going to come up through this month of February, and a stunning new idea is what I'm being given as well. A stunning new idea that's really going to help you feel quite optimistic about what can happen, what could happen next, even if you don't have all the details, or perhaps you can't quite fill in all the blanks. There may be a certain thing that you need in order to make something happen. It could be that it's connected to resources or to a certain person, or the influence of timing or restrictions lifting. Try to find some patience in that process, because when Mercury does go direct, we move into Pisces season in that 6th house of service. You're going to be putting something in place that as we approach that beautiful full moon in earthly Virgo, which the Queen of Pentacles is just illuminating for me here, you're going to start to see how something can really come together, and maybe even starting to see some of that fruition coming through at that point. But the synchronicity is going to show up really strongly, okay? We need to be open-minded to that. So you've got the energy of the Hermit coming in, which of course does link to Virgo. So maybe we're dealing with that. And maybe part of the departure or the movement on the emotional journey that you're having to experience right now does require that you have that internal narrative. You know, it's not a month to take too much outside counsel or advice. You know, people can be very well-meaning, and, you know, there is a time and a place to really listen to what that sage advice can do for you. But more than ever this month, the real information and the real details that you seek in order to allow a specific transformation to happen for you is going to come when you're in that sacred time and you're just connecting between you and you. Now, we've got the Chinese New Year coming in on the 12th of the month, just after that new moon in Aquarius. It's the year of the ox. And again, it brings in this beautiful sense of honesty, of loyalty, of a determined heart. And it's very earthly as well. You've got this beautiful earth balance coming in right across the mid part of your reading, which is bringing stability in for you. And it might not be in the way that you think. You know, if you're seeking it by way of a relationship, it might end up coming in by way of, you know, giving you more opportunities in your work, or your friendship group, or support coming in other ways. Or maybe it will be in a relationship and you're still seeking to find progress, meaningful progress by way of your career or what's happening on your financial front. But understand that there is a journey that you're going to be moving through and taking in the course of February that has a tremendous impact on the way that you allow things to make their way towards you, okay? There's something that you can't see. What can't you see? Even the identification of it is enough. What I mean by that is it's not that we need to force it to come to into the light, but recognizing, okay, I don't know where this person stands on a particular topic, or I'm not sure how they feel, or I don't know when I'm going to get the breakthrough that I'm looking for by way of work. The identification of what you don't know is actually quite empowering, because what it's going to do is just let you park it and then redirect your energy into the things that you do know. You know, your 7 of Wands right now is giving you courage, conviction, and the tenacity with which to take what you've got right now, make it work for you in the best possible way that you can this month. And it doesn't matter how small a action that is, or, you know, how insignificant you may feel, it's going to be in the grand scheme of things. I'm telling you, it matters, okay? So the slightest shift or adjustment that you can make through the course of February by way of your own thinking and how you're approaching or looking at a particular situation is going to start to afford you some really beautiful breakthroughs. Now, there's challenge. Yes, there's challenge. That square to Uranus with Saturn is bringing up uncomfortable energy for all of us, but that pressure can really help you to realize what matters. And I think this month is a very important time for you to really figure out for yourself what matters, because the plans and the things that you're going to be initiating through the course of the coming weeks and months are really about opening up a brand new chapter for you. And that heart energy needs to be front and center stage, because that's what's going to make it feel easy and in flow. If you find yourself doing things, shutting off your needs and just having to make the best of situations, it's very low in your frequency. Now, of course, many of you will find yourself in a place where that's all, you know, the option that you have at the moment. And there is this temporary feel whenever we're in kind of retrograde energy that's okay. You know, it's all right to just say, well, for now, this is where I am and this is how things have to be. But don't let that shut off your bigger picture and your longer term plans. You know, you've got a lot of Taurus and Earth energy coming in here that wants you to look at that and wants you to initiate it, even if it's by making a commitment and a promise to yourself. And I promise that understanding that, you know, the progress does take time, but committing to a path that really fulfills you is the way forward. The Three of Cups comes in by way of a celebration, and I think it is directly related to the work that you're doing or the way that you're allowing yourself to move forward with something. And perhaps it's been something in your heart or your mind for a long time, Libra, because I'm just feeling that it is something that you're pulling back by way of energy, remembering how much you enjoyed it or how important it was to you. I think there's this quality of you wanting to feel more supported in some aspects as well, or definitely seeking community or friendships that, you know, can come in and speak that same language that your soul is now inviting you to connect with more deeply than ever. And don't feel the loss or the absence or the loneliness of that. I think for some of you it may feel quite stark at times through this month of February. I promise there are new energies and connections that are making their way towards you. Make sure you don't get into an energy of being too self-defensive in and around people. I think the more compassionate you can be that everybody else is just working out their particular entanglement of stuff right now is just going to free you up to say, okay, like it's literally not the right time to connect or have that conversation. And of course, retrograde energy can always come in and kind of cause some upheaval with regards to that as well. So things will start to settle again after the 20th when we move direct, and perhaps invite in a more conducive time to move things forward. You've got more earth energy coming in here with the Knight of Pentacles, suggesting to me that the commitment and the work that you invest is actually going to start to really show dividends over the next 3 months for you, actually. I think there's some interesting conversations by way of offers. And even though there might have been some uncertainty about it initially, I think as we progress toward that full moon in Virgo, you're going to start to see more and more validation and information that's going to make you feel a little bit more confident and comfortable by way of who you can trust and what feels real. Always helpful to try and keep the kind of the signatories and the kind of formal agreements until after we come out of retrograde. But if you have to, just make sure you're really going through, you know, through things in the details. In some aspects, you know, it may feel that some of the relationship aspects of your life feels a little bit more mundane or a bit harder work at times through the course of this month. It won't stay this way. It just feels that perhaps it's an invitation to just kind of come back into yourself and just remind you where your light is and whether you need to kind of find that spark within yourself again. What do you need to celebrate? If you're not receiving the kind of conversation and the energy from someone to help you feel good about who you are and to give you that confidence and self-esteem boost, it really is Spirit trying to get you to focus on how you can start to deliver that for yourself, okay? And the minute that you do and you allow that shift of energy, it feels like other people are going to start to be more conducive and more open by way of conversations in the way that they come and approach you. There's certainly something about you coming into union and harmony and really allowing that heart energy, that sense of love to flow in your life in lots of different areas. If you feel it stagnant in one aspect, then try to make it overflow somewhere else. Remember, that cup of love always comes from within you. It's coming from your connection to source. Somebody isn't coming along and handing it to you and say, here, now you get to be in love. Here's the love. It's like that love is initiated from within you. And if you can direct that, even if it's about the way you take care of yourself, even if it's it's about, you know, how you are bonding with new people or a new idea or inspiration that's coming in that's just going to help you to cope and help to soothe your soul in different ways, you know, that is magnetically going to start to lift your energy and your frequency so other things can start to come in. But really for me, I think that 8 is exceptionally important because it's going to be about the self-mastery and about you not being afraid to kind of get the work done. So even though there's a lightness and a creative aspect to the 5th house energy, of course it links into romance and children, but the more meaningful progress you're going to see is when you commit to how you can progress and allow yourself to move forward in all of these areas, you know, without asking for permission, just trusting in what your intuition is telling you and watching those synchronicities come through. So your animal card is change and the chameleon, and you look poised and ready, and there is something exceptionally important when we're going through Mercury retrograde to be very light and adaptable by way of your plans, because things can turn very quickly. And so, you know, rather than getting your hopes or your expectations dashed, or even making sure that you're open to beautiful synchronicities and new ideas coming in, especially around that Venus-Jupiter conjunction, we want to have you in an energy that says, okay, I'm absolutely ready and willing to see what the universe wants to deliver, even if it's at the 11th hour. So have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C, and just allow yourself to be flexible and adaptable through the energy, and you're going to start to see some really beautiful things showing up for you. You can be many things to many people, and I think there is going to be a requirement that you change your approach with different audiences through the course of this month. You know, there's no aspect of that not being authentic. It's just that you're understanding and delivering to your specific audience, okay? So that feels good, and I do think that it's going to help you to, in some ways, understand more clearly than ever the type of people and energies that you need around you now moving forward. So these are inspiration cards by Autumn Skye, really beautiful. So again, we've got this earth scene here, and okay, your affirmation: growth, heal old wounds, soul is ever present, restore connection to spirit, your healing helps the world, live fully, live freely. Gorgeous, okay? There is a tremendous amount of growth that we're seeing come through for you. Again, your connection to source, but you're so grounded. That's what I love, even though we've got this whipping up of air energy that feels so good for you, finally, to come into that type of an element. The grounded nature of this reading suggests that even though there are challenges and things that we need to face, you're actually coming at it from a place of feeling really leveled, and that's going to make all the difference in terms of how your experiences felt through the course of February. So Libra, this is a general reading. If you want to join me for the extended version, we're going to go ahead and just pull some additional cards here. You might have a question that wasn't answered in the main part of the reading, so just think about that for me just now, and I will pull a couple of cards. You can find the link for the extended reading in the description box underneath, okay? It's a way to support my channel, and I really appreciate you for doing so. Thank you. So we're just going to look at this main reading now. So the Lover's coming through with the energy of the Three of Swords. Again, just that reminder of where you may be shutting off your own needs and wants right now, and how that's going to be showing up for you physically, emotionally, mentally. It's going to be important. Really beautiful, meaningful progress coming in there. The 8 and 9. Again, yeah, I think you've just got something coming through that's going to make you feel so validated this month, Libra. Okay, King of Swords, like your energy there. Could also be an Aquarius or a Gemini that you might be dealing with. Two of Swords with that 8 of Cups. Definitely feeling conflicted about it, but you know, the past is a teacher, but we still need to keep moving forward. Nice. There's that Jupiter element of surprise, opportunity, luck. Very wise energy that you're working with this month, Libra. Building up a greater degree of trust with yourself is going to be absolutely vital in order to manifest and start to see your path opening up more and more. Hierophant again. Some of you may really be looking towards new directions, new career choices, upskilling, wanting to learn, just radically change something. Feels like a really good month to have that kind of active evaluation, start making the adjustments and the edits that you will need to. We talked about whether you were going to trust that offer coming through, and there's definitely some uncertainty, but it's not going anywhere. Okay, Libra, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to wish you really beautiful blessings for this month of February, and I hope you enjoy moving into all of this air energy. If you're joining me for the extended, I can't wait to just dive a bit deeper and give you some more insights here, and take good care. Thank you so much. Bye for now.